Hi, everyone. Welcome to Audacity and Action. I am Edna Kallon, and we are going to be discussing on this podcast how audacious ideas and transformative moves come together to create meaningful, lasting, positive change in the social impact space. Together, we are going to explore how organizations, initiatives, and individuals are being bold and empowerment centered as they work towards addressing society's most pressing challenges. Challenges including issues such as economic development, education, healthcare, social justice, poverty alleviation, and environmental sustainability. So, let's dive in to how audacity and action can shape the world for better. This is the first episode of Audacity and Action. The first one. And I'm going to be honest with you. I am equal parts terrified and super excited. Terrified because this is my first podcast and it is being launched as I am gallivanting around Southeast Asia. I am super excited because audacity and action is about something that means a lot to me. It's something I care about deeply, which is empowering individuals to write their own stories and to create brighter futures for themselves, their families, and their communities. This drive of mine, this interest, this desire of mine is something that comes from a very personal place. I was born in a small village called Yonibana, located within a country called Sierra Leone, situated on the West African coast. Yonibana was a place where I was raised by my parents, but also by the community. I was surrounded with joy and laughter and love. The people of Yonibana were extremely resilient and driven. But unfortunately, opportunities for advancement and resources to enable advancement were scarce and limited. As a child, I witnessed my father earn, embrace, and build upon a life-changing scholarship made possible by development aid. At the same time, I witnessed my mother tap into her entrepreneurial spirit to make ends meet while my father was away. So, as a child, from a very young age, I became fascinated with the idea that when individuals are empowered, they can create something incredible, something so incredible that it doesn't just benefit themselves, but those around them. This fascination has been a driving force for a lot of the professional and personal decisions I've made thus far in my life. It is why I obtained a degree in psychology so that I could understand the psyche behind people such as my parents. So basically, individuals who did not give up and did not allow the circumstances of their situation to basically dictate their future. It is also why I decided to obtain a master's in international development and economics, and then proceeded to work for over a decade with development institutions, including the World Bank and United Nations. It is also why I decided to establish this podcast as a platform of harnessing stories of what the empowerment of individuals closest to society's most pressing challenges can achieve. I am more convinced now than ever that the keys to unlocking solutions to society's most pressing challenges basically lies with empowering individuals closest to those challenges to create or co-create solutions. Based upon my experience, I also equally believe, I am equally convinced that to achieve so, there needs to be a little more audacity and action. Audacity and action in terms of basically having the courage to think about bold and unconventional ideas to empowerment, and then basically turning those ideas into reality, into impactful and effective initiatives and interventions. As a result, it is going to entail challenging the status quo. It is also going to entail an embrace of innovation, because that is what happens when perspectives are increased in terms of the creation of solutions, specifically the perspectives of individuals closest to the challenge being addressed. So, Audacity and Action, the podcast, was created to provide a platform of insight about being audacious and making transformative moves in empowering individuals. It was also created to be a platform of case studies and also new perspectives and ideas. And this is how Audacity and Action is going to do that. So, every Wednesday, weekly, for about 30 to 45 minutes, the following episodes, or the following episodes with the following format, or episodes with the following formats, will be launched. It will either be an episode with a change maker, a development practitioner, or visionary who embodies the idea of audacity and action in terms of empowerment within the social impact space. Or it will be a panel discussion bringing together individuals who have been there and done that, or who are currently in it. On occasion, no more than once a month, it will be a solo episode with me, where I will touch on topics which I have personal experience with. And I will also use that opportunity to basically let you know about what to expect in the coming months in terms of the themes and the guest speakers. Regardless of the format of the episode, it will be based on stories. Because what better way is there to talk about empowerment and the power of empowerment than through stories of it actually being put to work? being done, actually. We will hear stories from individuals who really, to the core of who they are, believe in the power of empowerment. And they will also tell us plainly not only why it's great, what the benefits can be, but also the challenges in being able to accomplish that. We will also be asking and discussing some questions. So questions like, what's succeeding in the social impact space? What's failing? And in some cases, what's failing miserably within the space? And most importantly, what is the core of audacity and action? Is basically, how can we better empower individuals, communities, and governments? We are also going to find ways to include your voice into the podcast. You can follow us on our social media channels using the handle Audacity and Action, the podcast. You can comment on episodes. You can give us ideas and suggestions of themes and individuals for us to speak to. And you can also just reach out to us to say hi. I guarantee you that your inputs will help shape the path of audacity and action. As this is the first episode of Audacity and Action, we have come to the end. Thank you so much for being a part of this journey.